Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am in the kitchen. I am going to throw together some semi-homemade Christmas cookies and Christmas candy that I would like to gift to my neighbors and the mailman. And I thought I would bring you along in the kitchen to throw together some fun Christmas treats for my neighbors and the mailman. For my first recipe, I'm just going to use some pre-made sugar cookie dough. I took these out of the refrigerator and I let them come to room temperature. We're going to take these little squares. Let me open this. So if you take them out of the package, they come in like these little squares. So all we're going to do is we're going to take one little piece and we're going to roll it into a ball, and then we are going to cover them in Christmas sprinkles. You can use the colored sugar, you can use, let me bring you down and I'll show you the two that I'm going to use. So the Christmas sprinkles I used were just these little green and red like sprinkles, and then these tiny, tiny little balls. So I just took my dough and I rolled it into a ball, and then I am just going to run it through like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I am going to set it on some parchment paper and bake it according to what the pre-packaged directions say. So I'm gonna keep making my balls, roll them in between both of these. I want like a cute assortment. And then I'm gonna put them on my baking sheet and bake them. I thought this would be such a fun gift to share. You know, it's super easy, it's still festive, and it is something that you can share with your neighbors and your mailman. Like, look at how fun that's gonna be when it's a cookie. So I am just going to keep taking these little sugar cookie dough clumps and I am going to roll them into my sprinkles. I am going to put them all on the baking sheet, and then I am going to throw them in the oven and bake them accordingly. One little tip that I have come to in rolling these and rolling them in the sprinkles is you only have to do one side, because that is the side of the sugar cookie. So I am doing it the front fully covered and the back not covered, compared to the first one I did. I rolled the whole thing because you don't want the bottom to be covered. It doesn't have to be. You just want it to be cute. So I am going to only cover part of the cookie and leave the back side empty. That way you don't go through as many sprinkles. You still get the effect you want, and it looks like a real cookie. Like the cookies you get in the store aren't covered on the back, so why should your homemade ones be, right? So I'm gonna continue to roll these up, cover them in sprinkles, and I'll bring you back when I throw them into the oven. There they are. Aren't they cute? Okay, I am going to put them in the oven for 13 to 17 minutes, and then I will bring you back when they are done. While the cookies are in the oven baking, I am going to take some pretzel twists, some peppermint Hershey's Kisses, and some green and red M&Ms, and I am going to make, I think they're called peppermint hugs. Basically, all you do is take a bunch of pretzels, spread them out on a cookie sheet so they lay flat, and then you put a Hershey Kiss on top of it, or a Rolo you could use, or a Hershey's little peanut butter cup I've seen, and then you just set the pretzels kind of in a row. And then you take the Kiss and you set it on top of the Kiss like this. And then you will put this part into the oven for like 5 minutes, just until the Hershey Kiss gets melty and then you put the green or red, or you can do colored M&Ms. I just chose red and green because they're festive Christmas colors. And then you just put the M&M on top of the Kiss. Like I said, you can use a regular Hershey Kiss, you can use a Rolo, and you can use like a pecan or a pecan. I've seen that where they've done pretzels with a Rolo, a pretzel, and a pecan. And then you just pop it on top once it gets melty, and then that's your candy. That's it. So I am going to bring you guys down here and show you what I am doing so you can get a close-up. And then when we take the cookies out of the oven, I'm gonna put these in so they get a little bit melty, and then we'll top them with our M&Ms. I got all of the Hershey's Kisses unwrapped, and I am just going to go through and I am going to set each one on a pretzel like this until I don't have any pretzels or any Kisses left. I should have gotten two bags of Kisses, but I'm just gonna go through like this. And then, like I said, when the cookies come out of the oven, I am going to pop these in probably like 5 to 7 minutes until the Kiss gets melty. Alexa off, the cookies are done. Did you hear Alexa? She just set my timer off. So I'm gonna continue to put all of these little Kisses on these pretzels, take the cookies out of the oven, and then I am going to put these into the oven. So I will bring you back when I take the cookies out. The cookies are done. So we are gonna take those out and let them cool on top of the stove for about 5 minutes. I am putting the pretzels and the Hershey Kisses in the oven for 5 minutes. And the cookies I took out, these were the extras that I had. Aren't they cute? Look at how festive they look. And then I have some over here cooling. Oh, so cute. I think we should taste one. It's not pretty enough to gift, so I think we should taste it. It's crunchy. I thought they would be soft. Tastes like a sugar cookie. Yum. I took the candies out of the oven and I just started putting on the M&Ms. All you do is take the M&M and you set it, let's see, on top. You just give it a little push. And there you have a fun and festive little candy that you can share with your friends and your family or your neighbors and the mailman. And it is easy peasy to do. So simple, fun little treat. So now I am going to finish putting these little candies on all of the Kisses, and then I will bring you back for the last recipe. I just took these out of the oven, so they're still melty. But that's kind of ugly. So we better taste this too. Those Hershey Kisses are super like pepperminty. Yum. Okay, let's do the third recipe. We are down to our last recipe, you guys. We are going to need some oyster crackers, 2 sticks of unsalted butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, some cinnamon, and some sugar, just some regular white sugar. I'm not gonna measure this because the cinnamon and the sugar are to coat the crackers at the end. So I just stuck it in 1/3 cup. Let's move over to the stove. So what we are going to do for this last recipe is we are going to melt the butter and the brown sugar together and kind of make like a caramel sauce. I've never made these before, but I think they're gonna taste like When you were little, did your mom ever make you cinnamon and sugar toast? Or like if she was making pies and there was like leftover pie crust, she would sprinkle it with cinnamon and sugar and then bake it, and then you'd get to eat that leftover pie crust. I think this is going to be very similar to that. So let me grab a wooden spoon and melt these down, and when this comes to a full melt, I'm going to add the brown sugar. I'll bring you closer. While I am waiting for the butter to melt, I'm going to empty my crackers into this bowl, and then I am going to add the sugar and a whole bunch of cinnamon into a bowl. My hands are clean, and we're gonna mix it up so that when the butter and the brown sugar are melted and we pour it over the crackers, we can sprinkle them with this right away. Just sugar and cinnamon. And coat it, and then we're gonna put it on a baking sheet and bake it, I think, for 5 minutes. Let me double check the recipe. I looked up the recipe again, and it said to add cinnamon to the melted butter and a little bit of vanilla and 1 cup of brown sugar. We are going to mix it all together until the brown sugar melts. Oh, you guys, this smells so good. I'm just gonna break up the sugar a little bit, and we're gonna get it all nice and bubbly and mixed together. And then we are going to dump the crackers in this mix on the stove while it is still warm. And then we are gonna add it to a tin foil lined cookie sheet, and we are going to pop it in the oven at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. So I'm glad I went back and checked the recipe. I would have not added cinnamon and vanilla to this mixture, so it pays to. I should have printed out the recipe, you know, so I had it right on hand, but it was so simple, I thought I would remember it. All right, we're just going to keep stirring this until it gets bubbly. We are at the point where it is bubbling enough that we can throw in the oyster crackers. And then we are going to turn off the heat and just stir these in to make sure that they are all coated. All the oyster crackers are covered, so I am going to put them onto this tinfoil lined cookie sheet, and I am going to pop them in a 350 degree oven for 15 minutes. Spread them out, make sure that they're all pretty even on the baking pan. All right, I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. I took the oyster crackers out of the oven and I set them on top of the stove to cool for about 2 minutes. And now I am going to bring them over. What did I do with my spoon? Hang on. I'm going to bring them over and dump them into this bowl. And then I am going to coat them with the cinnamon and sugar. And I also upped my sugar, my white sugar. I think I started with 1/3 cup and I upped it to 1/2 cup. I just wanted to make sure that I had enough and all the crackers were going to be coated in all this yumminess. So let's pour it on. I'm going to do a little bit and then give her a stir. Pour some more on. Give it a stir. And just keep doing that until they're all coated and my cinnamon and sugar is gone. Oh, dropped one pearl, got it. All right, let's dump in the rest. They look like they're coated pretty well, but it doesn't hurt to make sure, right? And that's what they look like. I flipped my tin foil over on my cookie sheet and I am just going to dump these out and let them cool a little bit before I bag them up. Okay, you guys, the crackers are cooled. So I did not think ahead to get cutesy little Christmas bags. So I am just going to take a Ziploc bag and I am going to fill it, and then I'm gonna take a cute little ribbon and tie it around the top. And hopefully that's Christmassy enough. And yes, my hands are cleaned, I washed them. So I am just going to grab these. You guys, these are so crunchy. And they taste like caramely cinnamon and sugar, like that cereal Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It kind of tastes like that. It's so good. So I'm just going to gather it up like that, and I'll put a little ribbon around it and make it cute to put in the little tin that I got. So I need 3 for my neighbors across the street. I have 2 neighbors that live across the street, and then 1 for my mailman. And I think 1 bag of crackers, 1 bag of oyster crackers should fill these little Ziploc baggies up really nice. Oh, this is the first time I've made these oyster crackers, and they are so fun and so yummy. Oh, I bet you the daycare kids would love them. I better save a little bit so they can give them a little taste test after nap. There we go. I think I have enough. I'm just gonna tie a little ribbon around them and then put them in the little tin, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Hey you guys, I was tying up this bag and putting a cute little ribbon around it. So I just have some little cute little festive ribbon, and I put a notch in the bottom of each. And I am gonna tie it around this little baggie, but I don't like the green Ziploc top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull it together like this. Make sure my bag is tied tight with my cute little bow. And then I'm gonna cut this, pull it tight, and then I'm just gonna cut this green part off. So I took the ugly part and I cut it off, and then I got this cute little baggie. That's kind of festive, right? That won't stay down, but there you go, see? So now I'm gonna put them in the tin, and I'll show you the tins when I'm done. I got the tins filled. I put this pretty Christmas paper I just crinkled it up into a ball to make it look like worn, and then I just put the candy inside of the tin, and I did a different paper with each tin that I have. And then these tins have covers that I will put on just like that, and I will cut this down to fit, and then that is what I will do for a gift. Let me see if I can get this tin on. So they all 3 have a different pattern. This one says Merry Christmas, so I thought that this paper would be pretty. And then this is fun with the little Frosty the Snowman. And then this is just trees and Santa. So I thought some candy canes would be nice. And then you can see the treats inside. I was going to close the tops and just trim this, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of fold it in over the candy and just kind of tuck it in, and then put the cover on so that nothing is sticking out. I like that idea better. All I'm going to do is just lift this little cute paper up, and I'm going to tuck everything in. Fold it all in, make it nice and secure, and then I will just put the lid on like that. And then we won't have anything sticking out the sides to make it look, you know, unfinished. Oh, I like that so much better. I put a little stash over here so that when Scott gets home, he can try them too. Well, you guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for following along as I throw together these cookies and candies for my neighbors and my mail person. I think it is just going to be a nice way to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, I'm thinking of you, and it's going to put a smile on their faces. I want to send out hugs and love to all of you during the Christmas season, and to let you know I am so unbelievably grateful that you are here and you follow along and you keep coming back. Oh, I'm getting choked up. And that you keep coming back and showing your support, because it means the world to me. So until next time, friends, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, hugs and love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.